Thank you. Dr. Edward Hudgins with the Atlas Society.
Thank you, Grover. H.L. Mencken once wrote that every election is a sort of advanced auction sale of stolen goods. Now, April 15th is the date on which the goods are stolen, and in early November, election day, the loot is distributed. The thieves, for the most part, are our politicians. Harsh words? Not nearly as harsh as the moral monstrosity that is the current tax system. First, the system is premised on the principle of punishing the productive. The so-called progressive nature of the system means that the more one produces, and the more correspondingly one prospers, the more one is penalized with higher tax rates. That's not only economically stupid, that's immoral. Second, the system is premised on and promotes envy. The prosperity of others honestly produced is resented. For example, demand for oil is high, and the growing economies of China and India guarantee that that's going to be a much sought-after commodity in the future. Now, every American investor, and that includes the half of the workforce that puts money in private retirement accounts, every American who invested in oil profited by the rise in the oil prices. Others who opted for other stocks or maybe even real estate investments perhaps didn't do so well. So why the resentment? Everyone had an opportunity to invest in oil as well as other things. That's the resentment. That's the envy the system causes. Third, the system produces ingratitude. Many of the most prosperous companies in America provide goods, services, and job opportunities that most Americans cannot produce on their own. Rather than be thankful for such companies, politicians demand double and even triple taxations of the individuals involved. This is like someone beating up the doctor who eases your pain. Fourth, the logical consequence of the current system is total control by politicians, total dependence on the favors of politicians, and total economic misery. For example, first politicians promised just to help retirees with their health care costs, that is, Medicare. Then they're going to help just the poor, Medicaid. And then they're going to have programs to help kids in schools, and then they're going to have a prescription drug plan, and more, and pretty soon you have universal health care. Politicians must continue to promise more and more, and in the process tax us more, and in the process restrict our freedom and our abilities to earn our own way and run our own lives more and more. Of course, governments by their nature are inefficient, and therefore they're always going to produce misery created by the politicians, which the politicians can then promise to eliminate if you vote for them. Finally, the current system is creating a civil war in America. We see our fellow citizens either as cash cows to be slaughtered for our benefits, or we see our fellow citizens as butchers with knives in their hands coming for us, or perhaps hiring politicians to slaughter us. The only way to stop the civil war is to fight on moral grounds. Producers, and that includes every single American who earns an honest living, must stand up for their own rights to property and to profits. Only then will we be able to shrink the size of government and to send the politicians packing. Thank you.
Okay, you took my list. Thank you. We're now joined by Ryan Ellis, the